Rolling with another edition of the podcast. It is Barn Burner on a Friday here in the Tower Chrysler studios. Tar Chrysler! We hope Serge has recovered from his big Palm Springs extravaganza, the tough loss by the Firebirds. He'll be back at home, but
Oliveira.
I don't know that. Does Serge seem like a guy that gets depressed or down for any amount of time?
No, sir.
Seems like he's kind of a...
No sugar highs and lows.
That's true. Yeah, there's no crashing.
Deal with.
Yeah,
Steady Eddie.
Interesting times indeed. As we get into the show today, is tough day for the old Cowtown yesterday. Tough day.
The half full, Dean.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
you can see what you want to see. It's half full or half empty.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people taking it hard. A lot of people feel like our city's taking a beating, and it just seems very en vogue for everybody to be leaving the city. Rhett, you did it, and Pinder, you've apparently done it. So it's the in thing. Everybody's leaving Calgary.
Yeah. Well,
For those that are not watching on the YouTubes, Pinder is not in studio. He is in a studio, but not our studio, not the Tower Chrysler studios. He has Oiler jerseys hanging behind him. Have you? This is a bigger swerve than Hogan to the NWO.
well, I had to take a huge gross dump and happened to be near the Oilers Nation studio. So thought, I don't know if Rhett's where he is. Dean, does he need someone to talk? Could we talk this out, Dean? It was a tough day. I want to remind you there's positives here, and the studio's right here. So I've got 10 minutes for you, and then
What are you doing?
schmooze. Go schmooze some people.
How's the hangover?
It's I don't know. Like I feel pretty good.
Still
to be
drunk,
honest.
eh?
No. But not tip top, but not like there's no headache. I feel all right. I just had breakfast. Coffee's in me. We're good.
So for those that aren't watching, you are at the Oilers Nation headquarters.
With my stupid Aunt Louise golf visor on. With
Yeah, you've got the
Nugent Hopkins and McDavid jerseys behind me.
thing
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Oilers suck.
See, now here's the thing. I think we've all, the three of us, we talked about it yesterday, and I don't think anything has changed. Well, I mean, we can go through kind of the last 24 hours. When we started the show yesterday, there was the Hanifin. Hanifin's not going to sign, but we kind of knew that, or it's he's leading to believe he's not going to re-sign an extension. And Elias Lindholm, yeah, I'm not sure either. Come to think of it. And then closer to showtime, it was Michael Backlund. He's like, well, I mean, if you guys are thinking of,
Maybe I'll.
then
Go there too.
maybe I also will not.
Those guys aren't here. This team's not going to be good, so I'm out of here then.
And then a little bit later on in the afternoon, it was Tyler Toffoli. He's like, I mean, if all the cool kids are doing it, then yeah,
Follower.
we need leaders, not followers, Rhett. That's what it comes down to. So yes, between Treliving,
Yeah.
Chuck, Gaudreau,
Yeah.
Lindholm, Hanifin, Backlund, Toffoli,
Yeah.
Coach's fault.
Sutter. Yeah, it is the
Coach's
coach's
fault.
fault.
Welcome to
Yeah.
the new job, Craig.
Yeah,
First time
It is the
GM.
coach's fault.
Bet you it's everything you thought it was cracked up to be.
So
No.
what the hell did Treliving here at the year-end meetings? Was he alone with the players? And then all of a sudden,
No, because Don
Gonzo,
Baloney
like-
was there with him, remember?
If
Maloney
this
was
a
in.
report coming from everybody's mouth that they hate it and they're out and don't bother, I can see all of it. I'm out.
I think we have to be careful not to make this a people want out of Calgary and don't want to play for the Flames thing, which there may be degrees of that, but I think a really big part of it is, why would I have to make a decision now when I can wait till next summer? And that doesn't fit Craig Conroy's timeline when he says, I'm not going to take 7 UFAs into the season. I'm not ready to make a decision. It's not a yes or a no. Really, the only firm one we've heard is Toffoli, and he's asked to be traded, even, is sort of some of the angling on the messaging. But the rest, it's like, I don't have an answer for you at this point, and it's not leaning yes, but it's not like I'm saying no to Calgary. I'd rather see this process out. I've got the right to finish this contract, and I'd like to do that. I think there's a lot of that here too. And if you lose Lindholm, like, let's be honest, I don't see how you can be competitive. So if he's gone, why wouldn't everyone else go? He's the one that swings everything for me. I think you can envision them getting by without a Hanifin. I can't see them getting by without a Lindholm in terms of an MO to make the playoffs. Like, there's just no one else that can masquerade as the number one center. It's a really important spot, obviously.
It is very much a perfect storm, and it depends how you want to shape your discussion or your opinion. If you want it to be Calgary sucks, the dome is a dump, and everybody wants out, and it's Canada, and it's cold, and it's all
taxes, all that, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
You could go to the other side, and like you said, it's almost a perfect storm of a lot of key players have contracts ending in a year's time, and the team just went through last offseason where they lost a marquee star player for nothing. They can't do that again, so they have to. True. Somewhere in the middle is probably, well, I don't know how I feel. I know that the cap's going up next year, and it would be silly kind of to sign an extension right now. But if everybody's leaving and we didn't make the playoffs, and if it's going to be a rebuild, then I'm late 20s, early 30s. I don't really want to go into a rebuild situation. So yeah, maybe I will look elsewhere. It's all of it. And then there's, as you said, Rhett, there's got to be more than that. There has to be something that has all of these guys.
So saying, how the F don't they know this? They figured it out now, and they've all decided to speak out. This is bullshit.
No, I think
no, shush. You don't get to talk because you're hungover and in Edmonton with the oil. We should actually close your camera because we don't want to look at that. It's bullshit because somebody knew something.
Who?
And
what?
Why in the F was it not dealt with last year? Everyone's jumping ship now. And you can't tell me this is a new curve. And if these idiots that were running things didn't know that this was a shitstorm last December, why didn't they deal with it then? Why wasn't it pulled apart? They weren't in a effing playoff position. They could have dumped guys last year or before the trade deadline, gotten picks for this year. It could have been totally handled differently. This is bullshit. And the fans have to suffer with it, and the Conroy has to deal with it. It's a joke.
So get more specific. You're speaking rather vaguely here. What was the thing they should have addressed?
They should have traded these fucks last year if they don't want to be part of it. This isn't a new thing. You're telling me in the last month they've decided they ran the coach, which the coach was supposed to be the issue. Gone. Yes, okay. It was Pinder. Yes, it was.
I'm not arguing on that.
It was painted that guy was the issue. So you get rid of the issue and everyone's still running for the fucking doors. They knew there was problems. There's been problems for years and they didn't fucking deal with it.
See, I don't know. Like, I think there's something to that, but I also think like only Toffoli has said I won't show up and play out my contract.
So overpay me and I'll stay.
It's kind of what you do when you're in free agency, isn't it? It's the last guy.
It was piss poorly managed from that aspect.
Yeah.
I think that and right or wrong, and there's no way of knowing because like the guys in the room, they know. The guys behind the scenes, they know. But I think that there was kind of a belief that now that Daryl was gone, there was going to be some harmony. That you were going to be able to bring everybody back into the fold and everything. Hey, you know what?
I'm not staying because Daryl's there. I'm leaving. If you bring him back, I'm not coming. That's all you heard.
The GM leaves. GMs don't do that because he can't get along with the coach. They get rid of the coach. Then the players, This is a potential
more
mass
succinct.
exodus. And it may be a perfect storm of contracts and cap and personalities and all of that.
Yeah.
But it does feel, to Rhett's point, a little naive just to think, well, it's a big cap and guys say, oh, I'll play it out or whatever. If it was just that, if Calgary was a good place and things were good, it's everything right now that is coming home to roost.
It is a combination of things. I definitely don't want to paint it as one thing, just like I don't want to paint it as Daryl was the only issue last year. We all know there was lots of things that went wrong. I look at other guys that are UFAs. Like, what are we hearing about Nylander and Matthews in Toronto? Like, sometimes we got to get out of this one place that we're so zoomed in on. Like, there's a lot of guys that are a year away from free agency that aren't interested in saying, I'm going to sign or not right now. This isn't just here, but it compounds when there's 7 of them and you have the huge changes. And there was this notion that, well, I'm not even going to entertain coming back if Daryl's here. Well, now he's gone. Okay, I'm entertaining it. But, I mean, you're pushing me for an answer, a year out. What's the cap? What am I worth? That's not everything, but I think that's a big factor. Like, why isn't Austin Matthews signed now if he likes Toronto? Does that mean he's not signing there? Does he want out? What about Nylander? Just for an example.
Then it was fucking piss poorly managed because they allowed 7 guys to go into that situation.
So how do you do different? You're saying you should trade some of them sooner? You
Yes.
can't re-sign them before July 1, right? We
right.
know that.
Don't. I get what you're. It's too convenient to take the line you're taking, and you're trying to be positive, which is very kind of you, I think. They knew fucking well that room was a shit show, and it didn't start in February.
Nope.
You knew damn well there was issues in that room, and there still are, and that's why guys aren't committed to anything. They're not leaving just because they're not sure what the contracts are going to be. Are you telling me that Conroy hasn't offered Lindholm as good a deal as he's probably going to get?
Well, we don't know, but it's going to be a good one for sure. Like, he's offering him what today's market rate is.
Point being, there was we've suspected it for a long time. Last year was a perfect example, and there was a bunch of changes, and I think it compounded the issues that were in that room. It should have been cleared out months and months, and if not years ago, and it wasn't dealt with. It was slapped, and we're told that, everyone's great. We're all buddies. Everyone's happy. It's bullshit. They could have moved guys. They were in no position to try and make the fucking playoffs last year.
So if your issues are the guys you can't move, what do you do if you're Craig Conroy?
If I'm Craig Conroy?
Yeah, like if you know the issues in the room lie with the guys that are the immovable objects, how do you move forward? I'm hypothetical here, but I think
you're
that's
jumping way ahead to a whole different topic too.
Well, you're saying the room's an issue and they got to deal with the issues in the room. What if the issues in the room are the guys that can't be moved?
Well, that's exactly it. And who fucking
I'm asking,
signed
how do you deal with this now?
Who signed it? But I'm not trying to give you the answer to. Okay, so don't have any comments on what's happened in the past and only deal with. So we're only moving forward.
No, we can comment on the past, but I think also we have to be like, okay, like Craig has a job here.
Well, I know what I would do. I'd fucking sell everyone I can, and I'd start from fucking scratch.
It starts feeling like a really good time to do that too, doesn't it?
And I'm fine with it. And I'd fucking run the other guys out of town if they're the issue. And if I got to pay to get them gone, I pay to get them gone. Because if they're the issue and they're making everyone else leave now, do you think that's going to change? So we're going to hang on to them so that they can fucking lead the new crew? Fuck that. Pardon my language.
And the thing of it is, even if there isn't, and I think we all agree that there is, even if you had budgets, and maybe they will by the time free agency opens in 2 weeks, who isn't asking long, hard questions? The question, like, if you're any UFA or any player right now, why Calgary? You missed the playoffs. It seems like guys are leaving. The rink is a dump. You're getting a new one, but Christ, that's 4 years away, maybe. Why would anyone pick Calgary right now? The city the city's great. It's a great place to raise a family, but the city's
great for the people that are from Calgary. But
there's some great cities in the league to raise your family and live into. Why the Calgary Flames if you're a potential UFA or if you have a no movement clause that you would need to waive to come here?
Yeah, I think the only way moving forward that I can see where this doesn't blow up in your face is to turn these guys into futures. Because to your point, the guys that are having contracts expire or are in their late 20s, like you're just going to make this worse than what happened last year. You're trying to slap pieces together that may or may not fit, and guys, their contract's up. Well, what you need is as many picks as you can get in the 2023 draft, and you need to go scorched earth here, because those are the people that will show up and play in Calgary and love it. The guys that are so fucking excited to get in the NHL. Not a 28-year-old that's saying, I don't know if this team's good or not. And to be fair, I think all these guys this summer, they don't know if this team's good or not. That we're asking, can you please sign up here or not sign up? I would want to see how this fucking goes if I'm Michael Backlund, and I've maybe only got 1, 2, 3 more years in this league. I don't even know if this team's good. I don't know how this coach is going to work. So to me, the only way you move forward without stepping on another landmine here, turn all these expiring assets into picks. I don't know if the owner's going to buy in, but I feel like more of the fan base will buy that than I think he thinks.
Why would Michael Backlund resign?
He wouldn't. Why? When are you going to hear that Rasmus Anderson wants out? That's the next step. Is not why would a guy resign? It's who's next to say, wait a minute. Why?
I'm not too worried about guys at term because they don't have any leverage. They have to play out their contract.
Players
but when his contract's up, I agree.
I want out. There's your leverage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's got the cachet to make it happen.
He's your number one defenseman.
He's your number one
on
defenseman.
This team, yeah.
That's enough cachet to walk into a GM office and say, I'm out.
You can ask, but I mean, like, how did that go for Jacob Trouba when he asked out of Winnipeg? He got out. It took 2 years. He had to keep playing there till his contract was in a spot where he had some leverage.
And now he's the captain of the New York Rangers.
Yeah, no, he got out. But my point is Rasmus can get out, but he can't ask and leave tomorrow. He's going to have to play out much more of the current contract.
You need to change the narrative of what's going on here.
Yeah.
And I agree with Rhett. I don't feel like, and look, I don't think Daryl was the only problem. We talked about this, repeating ourselves. I think he was part of the problem. Mm-hmm. He's gone.
I think he saw the problem.
I think he saw the problem, and
he was part of it for sure.
Okay.
No, I don't think he was part of it at all. I think he was trying to solve it. Sorry, Dean, you had a point you were going to make.
No, and you know what? I think Treliving saw it, and he was probably part of getting this problem. But I look at Hanifin and Lindholm and Toffoli and Backlund, and if you were to ask me if I was to try and decipher and diagnose what's going on in that room, why are things going sideways? I don't know that I would pick any of those guys. Mm-hmm. I really don't.
As problems, you're saying?
Yeah, I think Toffoli's a good soldier. I think Lindholm's kind of a quiet leader. Hanifin's just kind of Noah Hanifin. Backlund. What?
Yeah, I don't think.
Are any of those guys rubbing guys the wrong way? Are they stirring the pot so much that guys are looking to get out of town? I don't think so. It's just a guess, but I don't think so.
I'd agree. Yeah. You'd ask, like, why would Michael Backlund re-sign here? The only way I see that happening is you play this year, you're competitive, and he's like, well, shit, we're a playoff team. But
yeah,
if you're
but
not
today,
why would he come back, right?
If you're putting these guys in the position, we need to know we can't lose you for nothing.
Yeah,
if you're Michael Backlund and we need you to sign here in the next week to 10 days.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing it.
I don't think anyone would. It's not a spot where you're comfy with the direction because you can't see the direction yet. And it might not be a good direction. Maybe this coach is great and maybe you can do kumbaya and everyone gets along. But if you're asking people to make a commitment now, like, hell no. You could take me into the season. I owe you a year. I'm going to play, but I'm not committing to this until I know what the hell it looks like.
So does Conroy need to soften his stance on entering the year with UFAs?
Well, he said he won't go in with 7, and I still don't believe he will. And I think there's an opportunity at hand here that he can't miss. You've got to turn some of these guys into picks in this draft class if you have the opportunity. Not all of them, but you can carry guys to the deadline and move them. We talked about that with Toffoli and Tanev at great length earlier, that would just feel like a natural, nice rental piece if guys are healthy. But you can't – I don't think you can do that with Lindholm and Hanifin because it just seems too dangerous. You're an injury – or, convincing yourself you're good away from walking an asset away for nothing that you could get a haul for. Like we've seen the market for guys like Hanifin, a first in 2 seconds. That is a lot of assets, and you're not going to hit all of them. But if you can hit on some of those, that can change where you're at as a franchise. You can't allow the opportunity to lose that guy for nothing. So he's not going to go in with 7, but I also don't think he's going to get the answers he wants to hear a year out. Because if I'm Lindholm, yeah, that's a nice offer. Bet you I can get that in a year. And I don't know if this team's good or not. Why am I signing up if I don't know what this team is? Is Hanifin here or not?
The only positive I take from this is that it gives But to me, it gives Conroy clarity.
Totally. I think that's the huge positive, is that you now have a point where you can pivot and get young, maybe faster than you probably were told to do, but because you've been pushed into it. It's like the unintentional rebuild. This might be the perfect time for it. It's certainly the best draft class to have an unintentional rebuild if you can get some picks here.
I read this morning somebody had labeled Winnipeg and Calgary the player-induced rebuild.
Yeah. I mean,
like management
that way, doesn't it?
Management didn't make the decision. The players made the decision essentially for them.
Yep.
And you're right. It would feel a little stupid. I was trying to look for it would be stupid to look at what's in front of you if you're Craig Conroy and be like, no, I'm going to try and keep this together.
Yeah.
The players are telling you all you need to know.
Well, I think it's even more simple than that. I think Elias Lindholm is everything. Without him, you're not competitive. And if he does say yes, I think some other guys are like, okay, we could be good. I don't
You're
think
not
anyone
competitive with Elias. If you signed Elias Lindholm today, you are not competitive. You're riding a bunch of old pricks into the grave.
Well, and I'm not talking about 5 years. I just mean they could sell the idea of making the playoffs. That's
I'm telling you right now, so do you not think the room matters at all?
Oh, I think it matters a lot.
Then how do you think that with all of this being said, as kindly as you're putting it, even we all want to leave?
I'm just not interpreting it as black and white as you are. That's all. I think there's a lot of things happening here. If I'm a guy like Toffoli, if I know Lindholm's gone, I'm not coming back. But
my point is, if Lindholm's even back, great. Now we got to sign Toffoli. Now the room's no good.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think that you
putting Lindholm in there, you're just slapping a Band-Aid on it and trying to fake your way into phony success.
Yeah, it would be the mandate to make the playoffs, which the owner, we think, gives to the GM every year, which I don't think is a good long-term plan. We agree on that, but it also continues to happen every year, right? So if those are his marching orders and Lindholm accepts it, you get some goaltending and the coach is an upgrade and the room's better, you could be a playoff team, but I'm with you, Rhett. I'd rather see it go the other way.
How's the room getting better? They clearly don't enjoy playing together. Or they say, no, I want to sign back here. Yeah, I really like the guys. Matters to me.
So the room's cursed as long as, let's say, Huberdeau's there for the next 8 years. They won't have a good room. There's no way around it.
Well, I don't know. Is Huberdeau the problem? I'm not in the room, but something's a problem.
Right. And so until we arrive there with changes, we don't know how many problems have been removed or not. Right. Like the coach is part of the problem, I think. You're saying that he wasn't now. I mean, I'm not saying he's all of it, but there's going to be a different dynamic there without Daryl. Like talking to people that work in the building.
I think the issue with it all is that Daryl recognized the problem, probably oversteered it a bit.
Yeah.
So sure, can take some responsibility. But if he didn't have to deal with what he saw, would have been a different story.
I think that's fair. Like he wanted things to go a certain way, and
I kind of don't care what the management or the staff, if they don't enjoy working with Daryl, because it's irrelevant.
I just sort of talking about, like you had mentioned last year. Imagine you have a best friend on a team, and that guy leaves. You show up at the rink, you're not as happy. What does that mean? It's not tangible, but we know that a guy's not going to be as good. How much better is the exact same group if they're happier going to work? We don't know, but it's something.
The beauty of all this, again, is that I think we all agree.
It's time.
Be done with it. It's fine.
It's
Mr.
time.
Edwards, please recognize that this is your indicator to everyone. We're fine. Get them out of there. Sell.
Yeah, it's not the media telling you. Yeah, it's not the media. It's not fans. It's not your general manager who you've hired. It's pretty much everybody now. Even the players have told you
hard to ignore this.
The mix is wrong. There was no winning here. What are you potentially throwing away here? A team you weren't a playoff team. You weren't close. Switch it up.
Yeah.
Right? Like
if you're old and
what's the danger of going into a rebuild? You might not make the playoffs. Well, you didn't fucking make it last year.
Yeah. So
with this team.
And so even if you wanted to bring this group back, you could cap yourself out and get really old. That is hell. Young and cap space is so magical compared to that. And maybe you can scrape in and be an 8 seed. I would rather see this team be young and weaponize cap space and accumulate picks and have kids come in that want to be Calgary Flames. and none of this shit baggage that everyone's dragged through these last few years to now. Start fresh. Let's go.
So are we still negative? All the years that we got friggin' hammered by people. Oh, you guys are so negative. Why are you guys so negative?
I'm negative because I'm pissed off because, like I said, I feel like there was issues that we suspected were there and have questioned about being there for a long time. And no, it's all good. And we're gonna sign guys to these long-term deals, and we're right on the cusp of being successful. And I was like, I really got to squint to see that. And then the guy pulls the guy that was steering the ship, first guy to leave.
He knew the most.
And
Who had the year-end meetings with the players?
And to be fair, like the GM and the coach, there's a lot of blood on a lot of people's hands, but everything starts with the owner. How are people being treated? How does this shop run?
Do you think the players are being treated poorly by ownership?
I mean, they're not being paid poorly, but I think there's just, you heard Vegas, a lot of the guys when they won talk about staff and ownership like you didn't ever hear before. And culture starts at the very top, and I think this organization has long been plagued by the top doesn't care for culture or treating people well necessarily. You know, talking to people that are continual on 1-year deals. And it's like, hey, is your deal done yet? Like, we're still grinding. I'm making half of the guy in a Canadian market doing my job. That's what you hear all the time. Like, is that how you collect the best people or not?
That's the staff. It's the staff, which is different than the players.
But I mean,
look, I'm not. The thing with Vegas is
this is like a pinnacle.
They've made 2 cup finals. They've won rounds every year, but one. If Calgary had been winning, then the city's better and the air's sweeter and everything's a little bit greater here. But there's no winning, and which brings you. If it ain't rock bottom, you can probably see it from here.
Yeah, and I guess more my point to the ownership is like, I don't think that necessarily Brad Treliving thought the move he made last summer was the thing that was best for the organization, but it certainly fit his bill of we got to make the playoffs this year. You can move Tkachuk for futures, but you might miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Take the established vets, and we'll patch it together, and there's still enough talent here that this looks like a playoff roster. And to be fair, like if Markstrom didn't have his worst year of his career, they are a playoff team. They had 1 more point than Florida. I'm not telling you they're good, but if all you are focused on as an organization is just getting in every year and not having a long-term plan like Rhett's asked for ages, this is how it's going to go. You're going to make short-term decisions that hurt you long-term, and that's what you're living with now.
There's 2 guys I wonder about, and it's not like they're free of blame. It's not that, but I wonder a guy like Blake Coleman, and I wonder about Jacob Markstrom. I mean, Rasmus Anderson's still kind of I kind of feel like he's a younger guy. That if you do wipe the slate, you still kind of probably want him to be involved. He can be a leader. He's still young, and he's an impactful guy on the ice. But I wonder about those 2 big money free agent additions in recent memory as they watch everybody else potentially flee.
Yeah, Markstrom said he wants to come back. Someone reported that yesterday. I don't know if that was Friedman or Frank or somebody.
Yeah.
And I think he's, he also probably understands you can't just ask out. And like Blake Coleman, like you signed here, you're here. Again, like, no one's giving you something to pay Blake Coleman for the last half of a UFA deal in his 30s. Like, you're here. You don't really have an option. Rasmus will gain more leverage. He gets closer to the end of his contract. If he wants out, we'll see what the team's like at that point. But it's the guys whose contracts are up that have the leverage.
And now you're leaving again. You left Calgary, and now you're leaving the show.
I got to go schmooze.
Mm-hmm.
Be better at it.
Be better.
We'll
see you at some point, Rhett, whenever you decide to come home.
Goodbye, Ryan.
See you, fellas.
There's only one. Yeah?
Thank God. He's not wrong on all of his points. It's just I have a stronger opinion on things that we've discussed, and don't think for a second that my take on signing Uyghur and Huberdeau was my full, didn't agree with it to begin with, questioned the Kadri thing, not to make myself look good, but they were issues. It shouldn't have been done. It was poorly managed. Whether your marching orders are the owners do decide a direction and stuff. But as a GM, it's your job to give them the direction. I don't think that Murray Edwards considers himself a hockey genius. He would base his decisions on, okay, we're going to make playoffs. We're going to have a chance. Let's do that. But as a GM, put your neck on the line and say, no, I can't in good, what's
Faith.
the word I'm looking? Yeah. Sign these guys to long-term contracts because I'm not convinced they're the right fit for what we need.
Yeah.
And if you get fucking fired, you get fired.
Yeah, I mean, Murray Edwards, he's a lot of things. I don't think, to your point, I don't think he's Jerry Jones.
No.
I mean, he doesn't even live here. He's not Jerry Jones. He's not, I think, keep me in the loop. If there's trades or stuff what owner doesn't want to know? Of course. And I would bet that, yeah, I want to make the play. Of course we want to make the playoffs. Let's make the playoffs. But I'm trying not to be on both sides. But I just remember last offseason, the Gaudreau thing was so close, and then Tkachuk leaves, and it just felt like you're good. You won a playoff round, and then you lost to the Oilers, but you're good. Huberdeau's a good player. Weegar's a good player. Tkachuk, you hate to lose him, but you know what? It was, and beyond that, it was kind of one of those things. You'd felt like you'd been kicked in the balls twice hard, and this was an opportunity, not just for Treliving, but it just felt like almost for the team, the franchise, the city, the jersey, to get back up, dust yourself off, and say, we're fine. We got these players coming in. We signed them. We're not dead. We're rolling here.
Wow, but the problem was that the trade was fine. You didn't have to sign them. And yeah, we're scared of the Gaudreau thing. Fucking trade him at the deadline then if he's not giving you commitment. The only reason Jonathan Huberdeau committed to the Calgary Flames was he got everything. Everything.
He did.
Everything. Like, plus.
The only thing that could have gone sideways at that point is that you'd get through the year and he wouldn't want to stay. Because the money was all the money.
They should
really
have
was.
accepted the fact that things unraveled, not to their own doing, to the players. And this is where I got mad at Pinder a week or 10 days ago. And he was like, you're an idiot. Guys always leave. And I'm like, no, they don't always leave. You don't have mass exodus. And the point I was making was you should want your players, and in any market, to want to be and to be proud of being in the NHL and playing for the Calgary Flames or whoever they might be organization part of. You've gotten rid of it. And now you get this. Winnipeg's getting it. Calgary's getting it. When are we ever going to see for the love of the game again? What made us all huge fans, which made us appreciate the players, what I lived my whole life about. When are you going to see that again? When's for the love of the game?
You know what I think when you see it is when you turn things over and hand it to the younger guys. If you told Matt Phillips you're going to make $1.5 million next year and you're going to play 82 games in the National Hockey League, I got to feel like he's looking for a pen. If you tell Jacob Pelche you're in, no more jokes, just you're in and play your balls off. You're going to get all the ice time. You're going to be dog tired every night because you're going to be out there all the time. I think he's excited. I think that's what it is. Like in life, we all get a little bit jaded and twisted, and things that we thought really mattered after a while, they aren't as great as we thought they were going to be, and then they don't matter as much, but you do. And I think it's happened at least a couple times here with this franchise. I think we saw it near the end of Daryl's first run when it was Ole's out and Ole's in and Kodalik is coming in and then Iginla's like that whole thing, right? And then you go a step further and it was Bertuzzi and Owen Nolan and Tanguay came back in. They've made their money. They know it's a big world out there. They've seen a lot of it. Calgary means nothing to them. But if you can bring in some young kids and they have a good experience, and all, you know what it is? All of a sudden, the Flames are their team. They are the Calgary Flames. And I know Chicago's Chicago, but for Kane and Taves, if you find two young superstars and they come in, it's their jersey. They represent the brand. And when you can have that kind of built-in pride, then that's how it has to go.
Why is it taking so long for everyone else? Like, for who've said this? You're right. I agree with you. That's where you'll get guys playing for the love of the jersey, love of the game.
Because the only guys, because I was thinking about this after kind of you guys had that blow up. Because I think it has happened before, where you remember Michael Pekka sat out a year.
It was over money.
Right?
It wasn't about, I don't want to play in the city, though. There's a difference.
And when Alexei Yashin, right, did he miss a whole season in Ottawa before he was dealt to the island? Like, either way, he missed a lot of time. He sat out because he was done.
Over
He was
money.
I know, but it's
you do see guys. Ryan named a bunch of guys from the Flames. Joe Nieuwendyk didn't want to leave the Calgary Flames. Joe Nieuwendyk wanted to get paid what he was due, and the Calgary Flames weren't going to pay him. It's the only reason that Jerome McGinley ever became a Calgary Flame. Joe Nieuwendyk did not walk in the room and say, I got to get out of this place. He said, I should be getting paid. It's a big difference than Pierre-Luc Dubois, who's won fuck all and is asking for the second time, I need to be moved because I'm not happy.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad. The league, you know what the league needs to do? Blackball a couple of these kids and send a message. You don't like it? Over to Europe, bud. Lots of jobs in Russia.
How did it go with Jonathan Drouin in Tampa Bay?
They played hardball
because he wanted out, and they said, "Screw it."
Yes.
And then if you don't play, you don't get paid. So there's that. And if you want to get traded, well, we can't trade you. So play better, so we can get something for you. Is kind of how that went. It's shitty right now because you know what it is? It looks like, what's up with Calgary? You know what? There's nothing up with Calgary. Calgary is fine. It's that collection of players. It's last year's team. It's no success. It's all coming, as I said it earlier, it's all come home to roost. Where I think Craig Conroy is going to do a fine job. I think Ryan Husk is a good man. We'll talk about the next assistant coach. The rink is coming. You'll look back, and this could be, if it's done correctly, this could be the greatest turning point in franchise history. It really could.
Well,
you could have a nice chunk of time where you are a contender, where it's playoffs. Of course, we're making the playoffs. It's how many rounds deep are you going? Losing in round 2, that should be your disappointment, not missing the playoffs. That's where you can get to potentially.
I'm not upset that these guys want to leave even. Because guess what? I would have traded them even if they wanted to stay. I think signing these guys would have been a mistake. Or like I still do. As good as Lindholm is, as good as Hanifin is, as soon as a guy doesn't want to be part of it, gone. Please, gone. And for me, I didn't see the path to a Stanley Cup if you brought all these guys back.
Yeah.
I think you're actually going to handcuff yourself worse than you are. I keep alluding to it. Ryan wants a bunch of picks, and I don't disagree. I just think that's checkers. Trading Hanifin for draft picks, okay, but you still have albatross contracts on a team that isn't going to be as good, on guys that aren't going to be as motivated playing for a shittier team. Somebody wants Hanifin and Lindholm and Toffoli and Backlund. Take the other. You're getting these guys.
Yeah.
And then use the cap space to fill your draft pool.
I agree with you. I just don't think you can do it all in one summer. I think this summer you accumulate youth and draft picks, and then you start to chip away. It'll be one less year on some of those deals, whoever you want them to be. If it's Kadri or Huberdeau or whoever, it'll be one less year.
Too. There's one less reason for.
Yeah, I know. I know. I just don't know
You
how.
guys think it's painful? I just think it's going to be more painful trying to ride it out.
Because you look right now what's going on in Winnipeg. They're looking to trade Blake Wheeler with 1 year left at his deal, and they're having a hard time finding teams to even take
But
1 year.
What we were sold on Kadri and Huberdeau was that they were, I mean, Huberdeau's a year away from 115 points and he's useless in the league. Eat $2 million of his contract. Make it palatable for someone else to take the risk. And you know what? If he goes there and puts up 100, accept it and move on.
Now, what to just devil's advocate? What if he comes back and gets 80 points, and then you don't need to get absolutely like hammered on a trade? You can trade him next year, and maybe actually get something, as opposed to having to give up
That's a roll
something.
of the dice. Absolutely, I wouldn't do it, but that's a roll of the dice, and yeah.
Because it is two things. You need to rebuild the roster, and you need to rebuild the room and start building that culture all over again. What are the Calgary Flames? What are they about? Right now, it looks like dysfunction, and it has for a bit here. But you just need to start building from the ground up again. And it doesn't have to be a decade of it if you commit to it quickly.
Kids are good. We've said it forever. If you make the right choices, you're going to have guys that can come in and play. And we said it when Iggy got moved, or like you waited too long, first of all. And wow, how are we going to? Because other guys are going to get on the power play and score. That's how they're going to.
Yeah, the thing about the Iggy stuff, you look back and he was the face of the franchise, and he was selling jerseys, and even at the end, he was well over 30 and had that no trade. Here, you're dealing guys on this side of 30. You can trade them anywhere in the league. There's no moves. There's no trades. Hanifin, all of these guys, even Toffoli. You don't have the handcuffs like you did with Jerome or even Bouwmeester, because he had a no move as well. It's now just, you'd love to know because if the players don't get dealt by next week, is it a signal that, they're keeping them, or is it that just the offers aren't what they needed them to be?
The problem is going to be now that you've got all these guys saying they're happy to leave. What's the league? What's the rest of the league going? New GM. Now he's got great help with them. So I don't.
The one thing that's working for him is that you're heading into the draft. You can get assets in terms of draft picks right now, and teams haven't spent their offseason money yet with UFA. They can bring on Noah Hanifin money. They can bring on Lindholm money. They may not on July 5th, right? If they go to market and find another centerman or another defenseman, or if they just whatever. At least it's the one thing. They have clarity going into the draft and into free agency. For the Flames, that's a piece of good news.
Move them all.
I'll get to work. Mad Rose Pub, 15 Royal Vista Place. I'm taking you. They got the patio outside, the brand new patio, 20 beers on tap, kid-friendly Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And this is not your average bar food. This is fantastic grub. Some of the best pizza in town, steaks, pasta, you name it. It's coming out of the kitchen, and it is delicious. Order online, madrose.pub is the website. Sounds weird, I know. madrose.pub, but it is. And they're at 15 Royal Vista Place. If they're far from you, it's worth the trip. If they're nearby, why aren't you there already? It's the weekend. Good golly. I'm just going to jump right to the Pinder report, I think. Because we talked about that. I was going to tell you all the great things there are in Calgary. Did you know there's the Stampede?
Yeah, it was greatest outdoor show
on dirt, earth,
turf.
Yep. We got a zoo. When's the last time you've been to the zoo?
Pandas left.
Yeah, it cost a lot of money apparently to bring in bamboo or whatever it was from across the planet. Picky bastards. What do you got? Just bamboo. That's all you eat? Bamboo.
Why can't we grow bamboo?
Can't we grow bamboo?
Maybe that's why the guys want out. No bamboo.
Babu. We got that library. Tower.
We got a nice library.
You going to the tower?
I'm scared of the tower because it's got that open floor we talked about. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah. Callaway Park. Do we have anything that isn't old? The library's new. Got some work to do. Time for the Pinder report. It's a presentation of Village Honda. Village Honda wants to buy your ride. Even if you don't buy theirs, they're still wanting yours. Top trade-in appraisals. Payment in 24 hours, stress-free, and for a limited time, get a family ticket bundle for Cavalry FC. Get your complimentary appraisal today. Northwest Auto Mall or online villagehonda.com. We will do the Pinder report. So it seems a little kind of, I don't need to backtrack, but in case you're just tuning in, do you do that to a podcast? If you're listening, do you just kind of start?
I don't know.
This far in? Probably not.
To recap.
From a day ago, Noah Hanifin, no, I'm not going to sign an extension. Now, again, clearly, this is not saying trade me, but it's saying I'm a UFA in a year, and I'm kind of looking forward to that potentially. So I'm not going to resign right now. And then Elias Lindholm said, what was Hanny saying? Was he saying he wants to try? Oh, it's a free agency. So, Elias Lindholm said probably, we're talking, but feels hasty to maybe sign right now. I don't know. Let's just see how things go. And these Swedes, they're thick as thieves. Michael Backlund, they were at IKEA together. It's like, who was on the phone? Oh, it was Connie. Oh, what? Are you not thinking of resigning? Well, maybe I'm not going to resign either. I mean, this might change, but I've been there a long time. But so Michael Backlund. And then you got this Toffoli character. He's like, well, if you guys aren't going, then maybe I'm not going. So it's really, as you said, it's a lot of followers right now. Maybe that's the problem. No leaders, only followers. So Tyler Toffoli looks like he could be on the trade market. Now, he's a guy, you can bring him back into the season, trade him at the deadline. We've talked about that with Chris Tanev. The point being, if it's 60, 65 games to the deadline, what do those look like? If you got a room full of guys that don't want to be there?
Well, that's what you said about Coleman and Markstrom. Like, it's easy to say, well, got to play. What's Coleman going to do? But if you're Coleman and you're going, I guess
looking around the room. Yeah. I don't
like
know.
Left Tampa Bay after winning, going to a contender. Texan, eh?
Yeah. So that's the latest. We're obviously keeping a sharp eye.
Hey, listen, the one nice thing about me is I don't let my emotions get the best of me.
True. That's what I love. That's what I love about you more than anything. Some Flames news. Apparently, some people are like, "Yeah, I go to Calgary." On the old Twitterverse last night, Mark Savard at msavvy91 #new profile pic throws up a pic of the Calgary Flame logo.
There you go.
Which got people to again very sharp. It's like maybe there's something up there. Mitch Love, we told you yesterday, he leaves to go to Washington to be an assistant coach, and it looks like Mark Savard is going to be an assistant coach for Ryan Huska here in town.
That's good.
We'll see. Former NHL center, of course, played 4 seasons with the Flames. Lifted the cup in 2011 as a member of the Boston Bruins. Following retirement, he returned behind an NHL bench as an assistant with the St. Louis Blues in 1920. And the last 2 seasons as head coach of the Windsor Spitfires. In his first year behind the Windsor bench, led the Spitfires to the OHL final.
1920? 2020? 2019?
Whatever, yeah.
Season?
Yeah, how do those seasons work?
I don't know.
Anyway, he was there. He was there.
Good.
So there you go, Savvy. It's just everybody's coming home. Where's Tangs?
I said Tangs. I'm not. I almost would have thought it would have been Tangs, but
yeah.
Savvy's kind of that same genre.
Yeah, and Tangs already has an NHL job.
It's true.
So there is that. Meanwhile, one of the names we had heard kind of floated around as a potential fit as head coach here, he has landed in New Jersey. Travis Green will be an assistant to Lindy, your boy Lindy, with the New Jersey Devils. So there's that. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman recommending players not wear themed jerseys for pregame warm-ups anymore. No more hockey fights cancer, no military nights, no pride jerseys, all of it gone. Last season, a few players declined to wear them. Got very controversial. They were lambasted for their choices, and then fingers were pointed, and it was awkward. And Gary says, we don't want that anymore. So they will still have the specialty nights. They are not eliminated. Just wearing special jerseys in warm-up has been eliminated. They will still be. They will still be manufactured and sold to raise money for charity, but no longer will they be worn pregame. So some people are upset about it. Some people. On both ways. You know what it is? People get upset.
Yeah,
Thank you, Nashville.
Yes. Fuck's sakes. Tonight, last night, Canadian Football League, the BC Lions. A rare feat, a win over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. There it is, 30-6. The last time a CFL West Division team beat the Bombers in Winnipeg was 2018. The old Saskatchewan Roughriders got it done in Winnipeg. Lions, pretty good start, 3-0 for the second straight year. Their defense has been dominant. They crushed the Elks last week, and then Winnipeg this week. So they're in a good spot tonight. Montreal visiting Hamilton. Now, of course, Bo Levi Mitchell. His availability is kind of up in the air. But what we do know is that the Tiger Cats and their marketing department seem to know their fans and what they enjoy in the city of Hamilton.
2 drinks a week, what's that going to do for you? I mean, that doesn't even get you through a day. A reasonable amount, if you're at home, you should be able to have like 4 beer. That's just 2 more. I mean, I'll have 6.
From what I hear, in Hamilton, the Hammer, the pregame can get insane at $5 a beer. Are you nuts? Let's rock this. You go right to the concession stand. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for you to get on with the party. And remember, folks, the $5 specials around the concourse. Get out there, $5 beers, rock and roll, get ready for the game, and you can't handle the Tiger Tooth.
I love it.
The Tiger Tooth.
I love it.
There it is. Yeah. You can't handle it, Red.
No, I can't.
Because I remember seeing this dude, it was a while ago on the news. I don't even remember what it was. You were limited to how many beer you could drink or whatever the hell it was. And he was like, this is bullshit. Like I could drink 6 today. How much time you got? So there he is. I feel like all of us know this guy.
It's Uncle Stu.
All of us have at least one of these guys in our life with the long hair, a little bit of metal. He has some heavy metal there for sure. He's got some Slayer in his car. The car's got T-tops, and he is definitely cheering for the Hamilton Ticats. That guy's a beauty.
He's wicked.
The Ticat Tooth.
I'm now a Ticats fan.
I wonder how many of those Ticat teeth he has, because it's clearly not a full deck.
How often does he lose them?
How often does he brush them? Stampeders, they've got the Riders coming in tomorrow. Looks like it's going to be a nice fat crowd, as it should be over at McMahon.
Calgary?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was okay.
You were going to go? If it was in
Regina? If I'd have gotten in my car and
Yeah.
started driving, I was going to try and make that
That's
game
right,
in
yeah.
Regina.
There's a lot of things you were going to be doing. Sunday, Toronto is in Edmonton to play the Elks. Right? Elks, plural. NBA Draft Retro was last night. San Antonio had the first overall pick. Victor Wembanyama went at the very top. The Toronto Raptors, meanwhile, had pick number 13.
With the 13th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Grady Dick from the University of Kansas.
Perhaps the most interesting electric suit in the green room tonight. Grady Dick from Kansas is on his way to Toronto. He's already wearing the Raptors colors.
The suit is as electric as his three-point shoot. I mean, the two go hand in hand.
I
Phenomenal.
love that.
Well, Rhett.
Is this a Toto we're not in Kansas anymore moment? A little nod to Dorothy?
It's a dick pic for the Raptors at 13. Kansas Jayhawks product averaged just over 14 points, 5.1 rebounds per game. And yes, he's a unique dude. There's some stuff he did on social media. I'd play it, but we'd get it pulled down. He dancing and jumping around. He's a fun young man. There you see his suit. And being the internet, being what it is, of course, the internet's going to have its say. Let's take a look. When you're the only one in the theater who's dressed up to see Blades of Glory, there was a lot of figure skating. Drafted 13th, but could move into the top 10 after the free skate. Yeah, it does have that kind of vibe to it. Waiting for your scores after missing your triple axel. He's very upset there for sure. And Grady Dick looking like he's about to do a Vegas magic show involving a tiger. It's a bit of Siegfried and Roy vibes there for sure. So, hey. He said it was something about, Dorothy had red shoes, so this is his... I don't know what the hell he was talking about.
He's got balls.
He's got something. To golf. Ryan Pinder, not the only one golfing today. It's the Travelers Championship at the TPC River Highlands. And yesterday, Rory McIlroy, first achievement of his career. Let's take a look. Let's check in on Rory. Never jarred it until yesterday. You ever come close? Yeah.
I guess it can happen to anyone. You just got to keep swinging, right?
You really do. That's the great thing about golf.
Yeah.
On any given day, you could have that one swing and hit a hole in one and say, hey, I'm just like the best in the world at this. Right?
I don't have much confidence that it's going to happen for me.
There's not many of those.
Haven't golfed at all, probably once I think I played in a alumni tournament last May or March or whatever the hell it was.
It's now truly one of those, because it used to be, hey, we got a golf tournament. You and do you guys want to come? We'll see you. And then the invitations are few and far between anymore. Oh, you guys were at the was that yesterday? Yeah, that was that big tournament. Oh, I used to get invited to that one. Oh. And finally, College World Series is winding down. Florida Gators advanced to the final. They were awaiting the winner of the LSU Wake Forest game from yesterday. Wake Forest, the number 1 ranked team in the country. Scoreless in the 11th. It's extras retro. Cue Tommy Tanks.
And he hung one. Did he get it? Did he get it? Yes, he did. Tommy Tanks walks it off. And the LSU Tigers will face the Gators in the finals.
Tommy White, they call him Tommy Tanks.
What is that little pouch on the belt?
One of those, I don't know what that is. You put your weed in there? I'm not sure what that is.
Is it only, do they have them or is it just Wake Forest? I don't, what is that?
It looks like, kind of looked like they all had it. I don't know. Maybe it's, put your cell phone.
If
waiting
he's
for an
walking
important
it
call.
off, why are those guys staying on the field?
They are in shock, Rhett. They were the number 1 ranked team.
Yeah, well, you lost. So.
They can't look at, they're just in disbelief. So LSU, Florida will play a best of 3 starting tomorrow night. Who you got?
Florida guy.
Yeah, you're a big Florida guy. How do you feel about the metal bats?
I don't think they need them.
I thought they were too dangerous. I thought that was you're going to kill somebody with aluminum bats or with metal bats. You're going to kill somebody on a comebacker.
I feel like the boys and the bigs use a wood bat. These guys should be able to use a wood bat. Right. Come on.
Yeah. That's Pinder Report, brought to you by Village Honda. Over 70 used vehicles on site, access to over 400 more in their dealer group. All makes, all models for all budgets. Award-winning service, top-rated team, Village Honda, your dealership for life in the Northwest Auto Mall. I was looking.
I was really mad at Pinder earlier, and I don't know if Pinder was the person to be mad at.
Oh, I thought he's always the guy.
Okay.
Because you know what? Here's the thing. So many people get mad at him. It just falls right off of him. It doesn't even faze him.
No, and it wasn't that his opinions were even wrong about it. He was being very level-headed, and that's what annoyed me. I'm like, who are you to pretend this is all good?
There are not many who enjoy the art of debate more than that guy. And what helps is he always believes he's right.
Oh, he has to be right.
And he will fight you to the death. To the death. Whereas here, he was just kind of, I'm going to argue with Red a little bit. Well, that sort of thing. He just really, you know what? I said it yesterday and he didn't like. He did the draft show with the 2 draft guys. So now he just wants all the draft picks.
Yes.
He wants 32 first-round draft picks.
There's some really good players.
Yeah.
Got to get these guys. These are the...
They traded Pelche and Phillips and Coronado and Markstrom. What'd they get? The 15th overall pick. Fuck. Awesome.
Love it.
So great. It's a pick. Come on. Give me some picks. He gets on these tangents. He goes down.
We all do.
I guess so. Thing is, it depends who he's talked to. If he talks to a goalie coach, then he's a goalie expert. And if he talks to a draft guy, then he's a draft expert. I could tell you about this draft. It's one of the strongest. Okay. All right. And I'm too old and tired to even fight anymore. I just kind of let him go. Catch and release.
It's amazing. The people he talks to are 100% more brilliant than.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really something.
What's the Groundhog Day animal?
Remember his voice used to be better?
Yeah, he
had a great voice.
He had that nose thing.
Deviated septum.
Something, yeah. Sinuses or something like that. I'm not sure what it is.
The groundhog, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe we need to take him and get that soft palate worked on.
He's liable to get punched in the nose, so it might.
And he's in Edmonton too. That'd be so great. It'd be so great. Mike Smith walks up to him and just like whack-a-mole, just clonks him right on top of the fucking head. It's amazing with all the shit he's talked about people that he hasn't been suckered somewhere, because he's always out where there's booze around. He's always frolicking around at bars and clubs and stuff, and everyone's hammered. He has shit-talked so many people. How he hasn't taken one right in the mouth. It is a minor miracle.
Yeah, he was close a few times.
Yeah. Damn it. Outdoor Dental. Dr. J. Patel. Dentistry with no needles, no drills, no stress. It's the Soleil laser. This treatment is, you say cutting edge, but in fact, it's not cutting edge because it's the opposite of that. But that's kind of, that's what they say. Snoring treatments, 2 15-minute treatments can change your life. That's the facts. It increases the tension in the soft palate, can reduce your snoring. It's non-surgical. It's pain-free. All of a sudden, you're sleeping longer. You're sleeping better. Better sleep, better rest. You're more productive at work. You're better with your spouse, your kids, everybody around you. Why 2 15-minute treatments? It's not that. You don't have the time for that? Of course you do. Go online, outdoor.dental, Dr. J. Patel. We're going to set this up. Who's going? Pinder has said he will go, but you can't count on him for anything. Wolverine said he would go, but I think he's moved to British Columbia now. I saw he was in a U-Haul yesterday. So who, because somebody should go and see the Soleil laser.
Why don't you? You are going?
Well, I went to, I got my follow-up at the hearing loss clinic. I went to get my hearing assessed. I just thought we'd all kind of, support our sponsors and go see what it's all about. And this one feels like for sure we talk about it. We got to go see what this is all about.
I don't snore, so it's...
Dude.
I got CPAP.
Dude. Come on. We've seen the videos. Shoveler has sent us the videos.
I suppose.
Painless, pain-free, 250-minute treatments. Go online. Book yourself in. Get your assessment. Learn more about it. Dr. J, great guy, great spot. Outdoor.dental is the website. There's a few things going on. I saw this picture, and I saw your buddy, and we can throw it up there now. We kind of do McLeod Law this day in Flames history, and there's kind of a Flames tie-in. But look at your boy. Look at your boy.
Jeff Sanderson?
No, that's
Dwayne
Doug McLean.
Rose.
Doug McLean right there. You're on a small screen, probably. You can't see him. It was on this date in whatever year it was. I didn't write it down. It was in Calgary. It was the expansion draft for Columbus and Minnesota, right? That's what happened today. I can't believe I didn't write that down. I got the picture. I got it all figured out, and I didn't. But there it was. It was held in Calgary on this date where the Blue Jackets went through. And there you see, Jeff Sanderson,
Jamie Pusher,
Turner
Odeline,
Stevenson,
Matthew Schneider.
Would that be a young Kevin?
Robert
with a
Crum?
Y? Kevin Adams? Is it the
Yes.
Kevin Dineen? Probably a Jason Williams, not Justin. And there you see the goaltenders, Tabarachi, Shabbat, and Rolison. And it was on the other side where the Minnesota Wild selected Mike Vernon and sent him to Calgary on this date. So it was kind of a trade. So Vernon comes back to Calgary. And also on this date, we had talked about it, I don't know if you were on that day, when Val Bure, it was his birthday, but Val Bure traded for the large human and Rob Niedermeyer on this date. I was the large human and Val Bure for Niedermeyer, right? Because he went to Florida from here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's
going
what
to
that
say.
was.
Val Bure. Okay. That makes more sense.
Val went to Florida to play with his brother Pavel. And then Pavel got traded to the Rangers later that season. So he was like, dude, you're leaving me? What are you doing? So there you go. Doug McLean. He's living a good life. In PEI on a beach, in Florida on a beach.
Seafood fiesta.
He was good to you, hey?
Very good. Yep. Nice guy. Very good.
Give me a Doug McLean story.
When he made me cry and started to send me back to Saskatoon.
Oh, no. Yeah. Maybe, is there a nice story? Maybe a good story?
We dumped the Gatorade bottle on him. That was good. What about the time before game one in Colorado and we'd had our team meal and he walked over and said, maybe you should come home with me. And
all right, eh? Yeah. Well, he's not dumb.
Different era.
Yeah, he's not dumb. So this day in Flames history, I mean, kind of a roundabout way. I didn't realize that the expansion draft was held in Calgary that year. Not sure why, but there it was. McLeod Law. You know Peter Klein at McLeod Law as the personal injury guy. But did you know he's also the go-to guy in Calgary for your disability insurance claim? If your long-term disability insurance company is refusing to pay insurance benefits to you, you can get mad, and then you call Peter. It's the only thing. He will get you the disability benefits you paid for and that you deserve. He gets your peace of mind back. It's the only... It's the peace of mind. Like we say, it's the peace of mind knowing that he is on your team and on your side and fighting for you. He's a great teammate. He's a great guy. Peter Klein, McLeod Law. 403-254-3864 is the website. There you see the email address and the web. Had lunch with Peter Klein the other day. Good folks.
Tacos?
Pinder had tacos. I had the spicy California roll. Delicious. Yeah. And it was one of those things, you know how if you're going out for lunch with people and you don't want to look like a big fat sweat hog, and order everything on the menu so you have food before you go. Wanted to mention Connie and John's Pizza. Connie and John's Charcut is very well established, well known in the Calgary community. They got a pizza place just over in Marda Loop. You'd like this pizza, buddy. They sent over a couple wheel the other day. Connie and John's Pizza. You know what I'm giving it? 2 of those. 2 thumbs up. Kind of a thinner crust. I'm gonna guess it's in some like the brick oven maybe.
Yeah, the Napoleon style or whatever.
And the pepperoni, it had a ton of pepperoni, and the little pepperonis did this. You know.
Oh, I like when the cup fried them up.
The cup, doing the cup with the little grease in there. It's so good. So good. I'm starving. What time is it?
Time to eat.
It is time to eat. We'll do some Vina Nova. We'll do some Betway. Actually, you know what? This is what I want to do right now because I called up a map. Because are we doing this next week? You're going to drive to Nashville, hang out, and then we'll drive back to Calgary.
Nope. I got in a car today full of luggage, and I made it 7 minutes and 42 seconds.
You serious?
Mm-hmm.
So you're packed and ready. You're just...
My vehicle was full. Turned around. 7 minutes. Cooler filled. Lunch is made. Come on, boys.
Okay.
We're hitting the road. I got a picture. Yeah.
I thought you were bullshitting.
No.
So why did you, like...
Road trip.
Oh, dude. See, like, it's to the point...
I got hit in the head a lot, okay?
I was going to say, I'm laughing, and I feel bad for laughing because I feel like there's something wrong with you. I feel it's like, God, all those years we just laughed and we thought he was funny, and now look at him.
Yeah, it's some sort of...
Some nurse is feeding him soup.
For sure. For sure.
So it's not too late to change your mind because I'm just looking. So there's Nashville. So from Nashville, we could go up through Kentucky or go straight west into Missouri. If you go through Illinois, then it's Iowa, South Dakota. I feel like that's kind of the boring way to do it. Maybe we zip down a little bit. Can we go a little further south?
No.
That gets you through Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Arkansas? What the hell are you going to do in Arkansas? Oklahoma, is it hurricane or tornado season? I'm not going to the Hurricane Alley.
Where can we go? We'll go to then. Can we go to Kentucky?
No,
because it's right there.
You can go wherever that you want.
Because if we went through Kentucky, then we can see some baseball along the way. Is what I'm kind of getting at. You got Illinois, then we could hit Wisconsin,
what
Minnesota.
baseball are you talking about? Illinois,
Chicago.
Oh, we can't go. We're a tough town now. Rough.
Come on. They got Cubbies. The Ivy.
Have you checked the news out of Chicago lately?
I don't, Rhett.
Not a great spot to be hanging your hat.
I don't read the news or listen to it or watch it. It's
Have you
way
watched
better
the
this way.
stabbings and shootings then? Like, it's not good. And you would not fit in. They would for sure get you. For sure.
I thought this was going to be some buddies.
Where are the Brewers?
Milwaukee.
Maybe we go there.
I'm telling you, we go from Nashville. We could go up through. We'll get some. We'll just really mind our P's and Q's. We won't say anything, but we'll go see the Cubbies. In and out, quick hot dog. We'll leave at the stretch if we need to. Whatever. We'll hear it. Take me out to root for the Cubbies, and then we'll leave if you need.
I don't give a shit. Like I said, give it, man. I'm not going.
We'll go up through.
I made it. No, you're not hearing. I thought you got your update on your hearing from hearing loss. You were all good. I had 7 minutes in the car and I was done. I'm not driving.
So that's what turned you around? Was that you just can't...
I'm out. This is stupid. 35 hours? No. Buy a flight.
So are you just going to sell your car down there then?
Why?
Are you never going to bring, like, are you never coming back to Calgary, or your vehicle's never?
Those are big decisions to be made. I haven't made those decisions. I wasn't going to drive it back with 2 kids just to go to Saskatoon. They wanted to go to Saskatoon.
I see. Here's drive to Nashville. We'll hang out. You fly back to Calgary. I'll drive. I've always wanted to kind of do that. Drive through. I've never been to any of those states. You fly into a city, you leave.
They're called flyover states for a reason, Dean.
I'm aware. Go hang my hat in Jefferson City for a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe check out Topeka. Hello, Lincoln, Nebraska. Swing over by Wyoming. I'll put some K's on the rig. Let's go.
Good. The rug doesn't need any.
Come on. Let's stretch out the old legs on the Yukon there. Let's do it. Fuck, we'd have such a good time.
I think we would for about an hour.
No, you know what?
Start, and then it'd be like, oh, what?
No.
Listen, and certainly not after 3 nights in Nashville.
Here's what it would be. Okay, we get to leave Pinder behind, right? Pinder's going whatever. He can beat it. You and me, Nashville. Maybe we stay another day in Nashville just to kind of whatever. Then we hit the road. Listen, we got some Chris Stapleton on the radio. We're having some soup and sandwiches along the way, some great road snacks. We'll call some guys along the way, have some laughs. You can sleep in the back seat. I'll drive for a bit.
You're calling in Nebraska again?
No, just whatever. Just mutual friends. We'll call Cooney. We'll have a laugh. We'll check in on Wilm, see how he's doing.
Think you do want a road trip?
I want a road trip.
This is not the one that's happening.
No.
It's too tight a turnaround. We won't be back for free agency.
It's the internet, dude. We'll just find internet somewhere, and we'll do it from the road. We're doing shows in Nashville. We'll just do shows from Boulder.
Colorado?
Yeah.
Now, if we go to Colorado, we'll be all wiped out by the free dope.
Cheyenne? You ever been to Cheyenne?
Cheyenne feels like the wrong way.
Because if we go straight shot west, we can maybe dip down and do a Little Rock, Arkansas.
Still make Cheyenne?
We can still make Cheyenne. Left that phone dangling off the hood. We'll get some George Strait going retro.
So then I'd have to drink, so I'll be a passenger.
That's fine. You ever been to New Mexico? I've always wanted to go to Santa Fe.
Yeah, another spot you can go by yourself.
How about, can I interest you in a
Santa
little...
Fe is what the hell are you talking? It's completely go the wrong way. We go to Mexico?
Can I interest you in a little Albuquerque?
Nope. There's nothing to do there. That's why no one lives there. It's like 1 million people in New Mexico.
Where's Route 66?
I don't know, but this is bad. I gotta go.
What are you talking about?
Show's over. Wrap it up.
Can we get on it?
Boring.
Nice. Just want to spend a little time with my buddy. Route
You're boring, everybody.
66. We're not boring, everybody. People are loving this. What is Route 66? Give me a map.
I just turned it off.
We got
Quit boring, everyone.
you sons of bitches. Look at me trying to be a buddy. Where can we get on?
Yourself soon. So,
what's the nearest place we can get on old Route 66? Because you get through Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma. Oh man, you're not digging this?
No. Let's go to Winnipeg. Road trip.
Those are the road trips I get. Yes. What's in Santa Fe? I don't know. What's between Calgary and Winnipeg? That's my road trip. Punch me in the face. Let's do your Betway Bets, and we'll get out of here. Tonight, well, we saw what's going to be going on in Hamilton. They got $5 beer night, so I'm taking the Ticats minus 2.5.
I like that pick.
Ticats minus 110, win by a field goal. And then to tomorrow, Saskatchewan at Calgary.
Oh.
I'm going to say I'm getting a little 0.5.
Okay.
Saskatchewan keep it within a field goal. Plus 3.5, minus 115. It's a little early in the CFL season. Still trying to, and of course, everybody doesn't play every week. So you got some teams that have played 2, and some have played 3, and some have played 1. It's, it's the CFL. Betway app on your phone. Why wouldn't you get it? Go get that Betway app. Bet the responsible way. Be responsible in all things in life, and especially when it comes to Betway, the official gaming, our betting partner, our gaming partner here at Barnburner and with Flames Nation. So now, next week is draft week. Pinder and I are going to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
We have a show on Monday. Pinder did his draft show. That will run as our show on Tuesday because we're traveling all day. What do you have planned for the Tuesday show?
We got the draft show for Tuesday.
Right. Wednesday, Thursday, Nashville. Let's go. We will be, the show time will be pushed back a half an hour because basically all of the Nation Network is going down to Nashville. Everybody is going. So it's Leafs, it's Ottawa, it's Winnipeg, it's everything. So we are going to be on at 10:30 Wednesday, Thursday only next week to accommodate for Frank Seravalli and Daily Face Off live.
Nashville.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So 10:30 shows, and then on Friday, me and you from Topeka.
Crickets.
We have a trade to announce.
So if you were to take a guess, because you do control you, what is going on with you in the next 10 days?
I'm not driving back to Western Canada. I'll say that.
Are you really not? Like you packed the car to drive to Canada.
It was hockey equipment and clothes. It's not like it was.
But what I'm saying is you didn't run out to go grab milk.
No.
You were planning to drive.
Packed.
What did the kids say? How did you turn around? What did something happen, or you just kind of? Meh?
I felt guilty because my oldest has a New York State hockey camp in Oswego on Sunday, and I'm like, "What am I driving?"
Where is
back?
that?
It's New York. It's
okay,
Albany.
Yeah,
I think towards that Lake George area. It's supposed to be quite nice. So I felt guilty about that. And then I'm like, if you two idiots aren't in Calgary, what am I?
True.
There's not a lot of sense in doing that. So that was part of it. And then my one kid goes, I'm nervous. I might get car sick. Well, that's that.
So how did you even get 7 minutes out?
I said, turn around.
Turn around.
Find a flight.
So, come on.
What?
Come to Nashville. Now you're not coming to Calgary. Come to Nashville.
I could, but I'm not discussing it with you right now. I got to go. It's 1:30. The show's running late again.
What are you talking about running late? These shows are getting shorter by the day. You wouldn't have fun going on a roadie with me?
I don't know. Like,
we'd eat.
It's a lot of days.
We'd hit some roadside bars and...
You've got enthusiasm today. What happens? I'm telling you, Nashville's going to kick you in the ass, and then you're going to be like, oh, get me home. Like, I know you. You aren't going to be
just to...
as gung-ho as you are. It's not a slight. Nashville will kick the piss out of a lot of people. It's not a slight. But I don't think you are going to have the same amount of enthusiasm for this road trip on next Friday as you do today.
This guy here is dead.
Yes.
I think you're wrong. I think you're incorrect. There will be hangovers, and there will be the feeling subpar. But there's nothing like just kind of
other side of it
settling into a big rig with a nice big,
with a massive hangover, feeling ill, and realize you got 40 hours to go.
But we're in no rush. I don't like trips when you're in a rush. This will be
back for the fourth. We got to do you said we got to do the draft, free agency show.
But again, I'm not even bullshitting. We can do the show from wherever.
Anyway,
I'm taking all this shit to Nashville anyway to do a show. We'll just do
the other part of the equation is how I'm going to be feeling, and I know how I felt the last time leaving Nashville, and it sure as hell wasn't let's drive 30 hours.
Dead.
I would need 4 days in a spa, being pampered, and then we could do the drive.
This can all happen. We're in no rush to get back. This never happens. You always got to get back for work. You got to get back for work. We can work from the road, man.
Well, if we can work from the road, we can work from the road whenever we want. So it doesn't have to tie into Nashville.
My heart hurts a little bit.
I'm doing what's right for you. Yeah. You know it.
All right, buddies. Have a great...
Is it the weekend?
Yeah.
It is. My goodness.
Mine just got ruined.
No one said you can't drive back. With Pinder.
See you Monday, buddies. Have a great weekend.